Blue?
What's that?
There. I'm bluish.
What does that mean?
It's my ring light.
So we had to squeeze in a morning podcast because the other podcast we recorded that was supposed to post on Monday failed.
Oh, we're recording.
Yeah.
Yeah, we failed. It's because I was in a basement.
Well, your connection got failed, and then I was talking to myself for 20 minutes. On the podcast, at least it shows just me talking to myself.
Well,
So I don't know what episode we're on. We'll have to check it out later. But what was I going to say? Texas is getting another snowstorm. Did you see that?
we didn't introduce ourselves.
Oh, yeah. My name's Dave.
I'm Kristen.
I'm tired.
And this is accidental nonsense.
This is accidental nonsense. My last morning podcast was, I don't think we've done a morning podcast since our very first one. Or at least I didn't.
No, I did them, but yeah, this is why we don't do mornings, because
never.
You're out of it.
So you sent a link or a story.
Yeah.
It was about a radioactive capsule that fell off a truck in Australia.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening, but there's been a lot of things going on this week. They're also saying that the Earth's core stopped spinning and is about to reverse or something.
It did. Uh-huh.
So, but yes, it said a radioactive capsule is missing in Australia. It's tiny and potentially deadly.
What does that mean? What is a radioactive capsule? I'm so confused with that.
It is a capsule that's radioactive.
So the size. What's the size of it? Is it like a little tiny, like you could swallow it?
No, I didn't fact check it. Like a pill.
Yeah, wait. I'm pulling up. It says official said the capsule the size of a pea.
Oh wow, that's pretty small. That's smaller than I thought.
I didn't find it. And it says it was found south of a mining town now.
Where?
They found it.
How did it get found?
It was detected by a search vehicle traveling at 43 miles per hour. They picked up a radiation emitting from the capsule.
Oh wow. All right, nothing to worry about there. We're all good. We can check that one off our list.
People were scared of a capsule the size of a pea.
Yeah, but I mean, hey, you don't want to stumble upon that.
That's like a...
Did you also see this woman in Hawaii? A boulder crashed through her house.
I did see that video.
It's kind of funny that we can catch these things because everybody has like cameras in their houses now.
Well, that's what's so great about society nowadays. It's like there's so much fun stuff out there. Like
we're getting everything.
You're walking through your living room or you're just like making a nice plate of like, I don't know,
grilled cheese
and salad sandwich, and you're walking to your living room to sit down and enjoy your time eating it, watching like a TV show, and a boulder just comes flying right in front of you, and literally inches, you could have died. I mean, imagine that life though.
If she hurried just a little bit more to get to the couch, she would have been a goner.
I mean, how precious is life that you just like blink of an eye. A boulder, like what way to go? Chances of dying from a boulder flying through your house has to be basically next to none.
Yeah, I would say.
So if you didn't see the video, you got to go and just search boulder falling through house or something. I don't know. Well, and then there's also, driving around here, there's a house that kind of sits down in one of the hills. It's like in the bottom of the hill, and there's like big trees above it and stuff. And so there's this one, a tree broke off, and it fell. And it got caught between these two other trees, and it's like just hanging over this house. So if it wasn't for these other trees catching it, it would have smashed through the house.
Yeah.
So this is why you got to worry about everything, or you don't worry about anything because really it doesn't matter. Because like even like what happens?
Supposedly,
nothing matters.
And this isn't necessarily a boulder, but according to this one random website, in a lifetime, there's a 1 in 5,180 chance of dying by being struck or striking against an object. But that's not just boulders. So I would say Boulder would be even more.
Well,
Probably like the same amount as like maybe a little bit more likely to be hit by a boulder than like a meteor.
do you ever like think about
Asteroid.
that though? Like, you want to get a house, and like even nowadays, it's like, well, let's make sure the trees are a little bit further away from the house so they don't fall on the house. But then also, like, the chances of you dying at any moment, I mean, it could happen. A plane could crash to your house. A
You can't
meteor.
prevent everything.
Starlink from Elon Musk could come crashing down. We don't know.
Falling in your pants, yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. But
Lots of things to worry about.
let's see. What would happen if the core inside the Earth suddenly stopped?
What does your book say about that? How do we protect ourselves from these crazy natural disasters?
I mean, I don't think that says anything about like the Earth's core. How do you stop that from happening?
No, but it should say, yeah, what does it tell us?
Where would this energy go? The motion happening within the core takes a lot of energy, yada, yada, yada. This is what helps power those convection currents to produce those volcanoes and earthquakes, but there are some good news. If no serious damage is done, these motions happen due to the convection currents of the moon. I'm trying to find, this is just random people commenting about stuff. Why does it rotate? Apparently it was a Chinese scientist that was talking about it, so I mean, can we really trust it? You know? Can we?
Maybe.
Yeah. They do if like the Earth suddenly as a whole stops spinning, but not.
Well, that would be catastrophic. I would assume
because everybody would just if you were riding a bike and your bike stopped, but you kept going.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be.
Could you imagine? Oh, that'd be messy. We'd all be like splattered on the walls of our houses and stuff.
Well, and then the water will be everywhere. Like, it'd be terrible.
That would be it'd be like someone shook up a snow globe, but none of the pieces were attached to the bottom.
Like, would that happen? Like, would I just go like flying, like just like super fast?
I don't know. Or would we stop, and would that just stop gravity, and we'd all just float around?
That's scary to think about.
Yeah, it's like my fear of randomly poofing into space. Mm-hmm. Ooh, what you drinking?
But that's why, like, water.
That's not water.
No, it's a cold brew.
That's some nasty water.
Have you seen that? Have you watched The Last of Us yet? Oh, you don't have HBO.
No, I don't have HBO, and you haven't given me your password.
So the scary thing about The Last of Us is like, so basically, if you haven't played the game or watched the show, there's like a fungus that like controls its hosts or whatever. And
don't give anything away.
I'm not, but the actual fungus is it's actually exists, and it like infects like ants and stuff. And there's different kinds of funguses like it that infect the host. So it like grows through the ant's head, and then like it sprouts out, like, and then its whole goal is to infect the rest of the colony. So it goes back to the colony, and it like dies on the colony, and then like the fungus spreads out. Like that's how it like. So it's like an actual thing, but it doesn't like. But apparently,
that's a human.
Like, it can't do that to. Well, it said it potentially could, but could you imagine? I mean, I don't think if it did...
Potentially?
I don't think if it did, you would, like, turn into, like, a zombie. It'd probably just be, like, you're just, like, the fungus is just, like, controlling, like, your body's dead, but the fungus is kind of eating off you. I don't know. But
yeah.
It says it, like, I don't know. I got to read about it.
These are the things that I actually start to be concerned about. Like, I'm always afraid if I go into a lake, I'm going to get that brain-eating amoeba and die.
Oh, I am too. Or well, not mainly the ocean, because it's mainly, those things thrive in what? Like, stagnant water?
Yeah.
But there was the people was it in North Carolina? They did that, they had like a man-made, like,
river?
Rapid thing that they canoed down. Like, they did that for the Olympics. It's like, I forget what it's called.
Yeah.
But somebody like fell over in the water, and then they ended up getting a brain-eating amoeba because
Are
the
you
water went up
kidding?
their nose.
So we should wear
This
nose plugs.
this was like years
I
ago.
don't like nose plugs though.
Yeah, I think we're okay though because The Last of Us came out. The
Whew.
video game came out a long time ago. But here, I'll read a little bit about it. All right.
What does
It
that
says
have to do
fungus.
with
Oh, I don't know.
us
Well,
being okay?
I'm just saying. Well, we're okay right now. So it says like other parasites, cordyceps drains its host completely of nutrients before filling its body with spores that will let the fungus reproduce. It then compels the insect to seek height and remain there before it expels these spores, infecting other nearby insects in the process. So yeah, it's a real thing. This fungus is one of the best known, probably most commonly
Wow.
encountered kinds of organism with this mind control capability. And he
But
said that
how
scientists aren't entirely sure.
mind control though? So it can like control what the ants do and where they go.
I don't know.
So how would it know? Is the fungus smart enough to know like
See, that's what I don't think.
what
Well, it says it's
to
not
know what
as
to
like
control?
dangerous as like the show predicts. There are likely some sort of chemical
Obviously, or else we'd be worried about it now.
yeah, right. There's some major differences between how the fungus is portrayed in the show and in real life. So, so in the show, not to give anything away, but the zombies, like you see the fungus kind of like come in their mouth, like
Yeah.
that's how like.
And then what, they spit it on people or what? Does it have to touch
they
you
bite,
in the
they bite
show?
people.
Oh. And then it gets into your...
you're
So like normal zombie
and then it
stuff.
gets into your
So it's kind of like normal zombie stuff, but they made it more realistic because they're actually using this scientific fungi thing.
fungus that infects like ants and other insects. Yeah.
Yeah, that actually exists. So they
they were
made
saying
the
that
idea of
the climate-
zombies to be even more possible.
Yeah. Well, it basically the fungus right now it can't survive in like higher temperatures, and our bodies are like higher.
They're too hot.
Yeah, but
if it morphs,
they're saying with climate change and stuff, the fungi could adapt, and
Oh.
that's kind of like that. That's what happened in the show, and that doesn't really give anything away, but. So it says, and it is possible that a fungus with similar mind control capabilities could, at some point, be able to withstand a person's body temperature.
oh my word!
So we're not too far from zombie apocalypse, I think.
But I wonder how that would look like if someone was able to get infected with that.
Yeah, I feel like
because the fungus would have to be smart enough to control the person, right?
Yeah, I think the body would just lay there and kind of probably just decompose.
Yeah, like you'd be brain dead, kind of.
Yeah.
So. Wow, interesting.
It says it's unlikely that it could morph where it could hop from person to person. So
What?
we might be okay.
What?
Be okay,
Oh my!
but what is going on in your house?
There's, people pass by the front windows, and for some reason, the dogs get all worked up about it, and so.
Well, yeah, so there's a lot of crazy stuff going on. I mean, talk about people with anxiety having to live in a world nowadays. You got the Earth potentially core stopping, whatever that means.
Radioactive peas flying everywhere.
Radioactive peas that could
just getting lost,
like falling off trucks
somehow.
Where did that come from? I didn't even read into it.
Was there a whole vat of them and then it just popped out? Like, did they have more? Did they just have this one?
I feel like it could just be like governments like trying to like.
Was that in Australia, right?
Yeah, it was in Australia. But then you got that. You got this zombie stuff now that actually could happen potentially in the coming years. You got asteroids coming close to the Earth. You got, I mean, at some point you just gotta just let it all go and just trust that God's gonna keep us from the boulders and everything else.
It just said they just keep saying it just fell from a truck, but why? Why was it there?
Yeah, but why was it in a truck?
Tell us. And that's not a big enough story to where no one's asking questions.
No, and it's the size of a pea. I don't know.
Isn't that funny? Things just there's these huge things that happen in the news, and then they just kind of get shuffled around because other crazy stuff is happening.
Yeah, and well, because there's all this like World War III talk and stuff and everything. It's just crazy.
And this
Crazy
whole
world
thing
we
about
live
the
in.
Earth's core, like, it'd be nice to know more about what's going on with that. But
This is what
I'm
I was saying
assuming we don't
before
need to
earlier
worry
this
about
week.
it. What?
No, you don't. Earlier this week, I was wondering, like, how did they figure that out? Because like the deepest hole we've ever dug doesn't even come close to anywhere near. Like, how do we
Well,
even know what's happening down there?
I
It's
mean,
just a guess.
it would have to be just their like readers and stuff, like how they can read. What is that they use? Seismograph to like read
Like earthquake activity.
earthquakes and things. I mean, they
I
probably
mean,
just have radios and different things.
I mean, it really at some point though it is a rough. It's a guess and a rough estimate on what's happening. Maybe
In
that's
some
just see.
degree.
Maybe it has nothing. Climate change has nothing to do with what we're doing. It's actually just the Earth's normal, like it's the core, like acting up, and it's
Yeah,
messing up the rest
so
of us.
it's seismic waves. Shock waves generated by earthquakes and explosions that travel through Earth and across the surface to reveal the structure of the interior of the planet. But
Still,
there's no samples of the Earth's core. So
yeah, I don't know. Again, I think it's all guess. It's like with these spacecrafts that are like saying, "Oh, there's a planet out there that is basically an Earth-like planet that can withstand whatever human
yeah.
life." It's like it's a guess. You haven't actually seen it.
Titan, did you hear? Oh my. Our niece was talking about what's happening. What's happening?
I got a zombie bite. You see?
What is that? Is that actually a bite?
I got bit by a rabid person in my alley at the church.
I don't believe it.
No,
What was I saying?
out the trash. I was taking out the trash, and the person just came and just like charging me. It had some weird thing in its mouth. It looked like a fungus. No, I cut myself on the
What was
other
I
side.
saying?
What were you saying?
I don't know what I was saying.
Your dog's barking. I don't know. Oh, about the Earth's seismic activity.
Yeah, but what was I saying though?
I don't
We'll
know.
have to move on.
Are
You got a would you rather for us? Maybe I'm infected by those crazy.
I don't. I mean, would you rather there be a zombie apocalypse or the Earth stop spinning? I don't know.
I mean, I think I'd rather an apocalypse, unless unless the Earth stopped spinning was just no big deal.
Here's my thing about the zombie apocalypse will be fine and it'd be okay, but it depends on what kind of zombies. Because in this Last of Us show, there are some pretty fast zombies. And I like the zombies that just kind of like waddle like at a slow pace of like barely.
Like Walking Dead, where they're super old now and they move. They like can barely move.
Yeah, and they don't really like. Oh, so the zombies in The Last of Us, they like basically the fungus spreads like through like the ground too. So you'll see these little spores that pop up, and if you step on them, it tells the other zombies from like even like miles away that somebody's in that location. So then they all start flocking to that location. So you have to be careful where you're walking too. So like it's that kind of stuff where it's like I don't want that kind of stuff.
I did not know that was like a zombie show.
Yeah, it's amazing. How many years could you survive a zombie apocalypse?
I don't know. I would really like. I would hope at least a few years. I think it would be cool if you could enter some super realistic virtual reality and see how long you could survive a zombie apocalypse. Like, I would like to know how long I could make it for, but I wouldn't want to actually experience it.
But not the virtual reality thing can't be like actual like years, but it's like a simulated years.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, because then that's a lot of time to invest in just seeing what I can do.
If you lived, you'd have a better chance if you lived like more like outskirts in the cities, out of cities, because I feel like the cities is going to be.
I think so too. Yeah.
So move out to the countryside and then build a big fence.
Well, in the cities too, if one person gets infected, then that's a lot more zombies you're having to fight off in a smaller area. So
make sure you have gas stocked up. I don't know. Maybe we need to be doomsday preppers.
Maybe.
That's why they do it, just in case.
And it's like, okay, war breaks out, you're good. Like famine, you got some food. Zombie apocalypse, you've got your tools.
A safe haven. The funny thing is, though, doomsday preppers, most likely the way they're going to die is the Earth stops spinning. Nothing's going to help them then. So, alrighty. Well, we'll wrap this one up.
Most likely, that's what will happen.
Most likely. I mean, that's the highest chance. Or a boulder. I mean, I don't think doomsday preppers predict that kind of
Unless
stuff.
they sleep in their basement.
Yeah. So, anything else you got to say? I think we got it all.
Nothing.
All right. Well, have a good one, everybody. Drive safe.
Peace.
Hopefully that one loads. It's still going. It's still going. It says stopping. So we're still here for now.